Hello everyone, this is Pauline Angel, URK20CS1015 from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, KARUNYA. In this video, I'm going to explain you some programs on exception handling in Java. So let's get started. First, let me show you the programs that we are going to do. So our first question is to create an array of characters which will be initialized during runtime with ovals. We have to use the user has to enter consonant. If a user has entered a consonant, then our code should generate a user-defined exception called invalid oval exception. So it has to print character is consonant. So we have to use it using try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. So let us see how we can do it. So our program is to create an oval exception. So I have created a class called oval exception, and then in the main program for the main class, I have main public class. I have given the user input user defined program, so it has to take input from the user. So first I'm going to take an array of elements from the user. So according to the size of the elements, that like number of elements that the user wants to take from the put in the array. So according to the size of the array, I'm going to go for the further program. So after that, I'm going to take the characters in the array. So for that, I have used this array so that according to the size of the array, the characters will be taken. And for that particular length, this program will be checked. So I have initialized r equals to 0, which is a temporary variable r equals to 0. So in that, I have given try block so as to catch so as to handle the exception that we are going to have. So our exception is to see whether the uh, particular character that the user has entered is a consonant or an oval. So if it is an oval, then it is allowed. Otherwise, it will be caught by the catch here, which we are going to create in the else condition, the invalid oval exception that we have created in the else condition. So it will take this object and this catch, which is having the object of this oval exception that we have created, and it will print the character is consonant. So in the if condition, so I have given array of the particular index number. So any particular index number which is having these ovals, it is allowed. So it will print oval is added. Otherwise, it will go to the else condition, and the else condition is holding the oval exception, invalid oval exception, with the message that it has to give, and then have thrown it, and then this catch block will catch this exception which has been thrown, and it will print out the exception message. So for creating this exception, we have to create a class first, which is class invalid oval exception, which is extending the general exception class. So in that, I have given a string s, which is going to take the invalid oval exception statement. So let's run this code and see how it works. So it is asking for a number of elements for the array. Let's say 4. It is asking us to enter the characters in the array. Let's say A, and oval is added. B, C, character is consonant. See, since A is an oval, it is giving us oval is added. And when I have given B, it is saying it has thrown the invalid oval exception that we have created here. Since it is a consonant, it is printing the character is consonant. So this is how we can handle oval exception using user-defined function. So now let's go into the next program. The next program is to write a menu-driven program to perform an integer queue by using the concepts of interface, and we have to create exceptions for non-integer value, and insert operation when it is full, and remove operation when it is empty, which means first we have to implement the queue function. Queue is nothing but taking the input one by one from the user and adding it one after the other, and the first number which we are going to add in the queue will be in the first position, and later on the other will be following the other one after another. So even while removing, we are going to take out the first position, the element in the first position, and remaining following each other. So it is following first in first out, condition. So first we have to initialize queue. So for that I have created a class called list, in which the friend rate are initialized to 0, and I'm going to take a size, so that size is also being initialized here, and an array of numbers. So for that I have created an array called queue, and then I have created a list called constructor called list. So in this list class I have created the constructor which is having an argument called size, which I have given here. So this size is going to take the value, the number of the size of the array which is going to be initialized. So this array will be taken into consideration from the user, like since it's a user defined program, no matter how much the number of elements the user gives into the queue, that much size will be considered. So then I have created a function definition called enqueue, which is having another one argument, which is called string data, which means we have to first throw an exception whenever the user gives an input of non-integer. So for that, to see whether the given number given input is an integer or non-integer, we have to detect non-integer values also. So for that I'm going to use a for loop. In that for loop, for the data of length of data which we are going to which the user is going to give, for that length it is going to see whether the character is digit or not. So character dot is digit is going to be is going to verify whether the particular input is an integer or is it a non-integer. So if it is true, then it's okay. It will go on printing the numbers, go on taking in the input for the queue. Otherwise, this try block will be implemented, in which we have given an non-integer exception, saying that the particular integer or the input that you have entered is a non-integer. So for that try block, I have given the catch block also, so as to take the exception that we have created and will print out. Otherwise, if it is a number, if it is an integer, then this try block will not get executed, and it will go into the next try block, so as to take the input. It will take the input as usually, and its next condition is to say if the queue is full or if the queue is empty. So for that I'm going to add overflow exception for the queue is full condition. So whenever the queue is full, then it has to print that the particular statement called queue is full. So for that I have created another try block which is having overflow exception, and it is going to have a catch block here over here. So for this try, it is going to catch the exception, it will print the message. Otherwise, if rare equals to size is a condition for saying that the queue is full. So if this condition is true, then it will print the exception. Otherwise, it is going to take the values just like a normal queue, how it is going to take. So it is take the integer dot fars of data, which means it is going to take consider as the integer input. It is going to be considered as integer input, and it will keep on adding the data into the queue. So the rate will be incremented, which means the data will be updated. And for dequeue, we have another condition, so as to say that a queue is empty. So if the user tries to delete more numbers even after deleting all the numbers in the queue, then it has to print that queue is empty. So for that I have created an array which is going to take the if condition, which is holding the if condition, which means rear equals to 0. That's the condition for queue is empty. So I have created underflow exception so that it will print queue is empty. And here for this particular try block, it is having a catch block so as to print so as to catch the particular exception, and it will print out the message. Or else if this if condition is not satisfied, which means if the queue is not empty, then it will go on deleting the normal process. So for I less than rear -1, so it will take out the first element from the queue, and it will increment front and increment size, so that it will increment the front of the queue, so as the number deleted after getting the after a particular number gets deleted, the number following the deleted element will get into the first position. And after that, after the number gets deleted, the size will be decreased and the rear also will be decreased. And for displaying the numbers that we have in the queue, we are following a for loop so as to print the numbers which are currently present in the queue. And then I have the main public class queue, in which I am going to give user defined input. So first I'm going to ask the user to enter the number of elements in the queue, so he has to give a particular size for the queue. And then I have given object. I have created an object for the queue using for the list of queue. So using that, I have given a while condition so as to get what kind of option the user wants to see, like NQ or DQ or display or exit. And then according to the option shows by the user, then the conditions like NQ, DQ, display will be activated. So for the exceptions that we have here, like non-integer exception and overflow exception, underflow exception, I have created the separate classes for each one of them. So overflow, all these exceptions are extending from the basic general exception class. So all are having a string s, which means that they are going to print the particular statement that we have passed here in the exception. So let us run this code and see. So it is asking us the number of elements in queue. Let's say 5 elements. First, let us give values in the queue. So NQ, it is asking for numbers to NQ. Let's say 4. 4 is added to the queue, and again 3, and again 9, and again 2, and again 5. And let's see what will it print. Now I'm adding another number. I'm trying to enter more numbers. See, it has given us an exception, overflow exception, saying that the queue is full. I have already entered 5 numbers, and I'm trying to enter another more number called another number 8. So it is printing us queue is full. And let's see now display. Let us see how it is going to display. Yeah, the 5 numbers that which we have given, it has printed those numbers. And now let's see the DQ function. Now DQ again, DQ again. Now let's see what the numbers are left. Only 2 numbers are left. We have deleted 3 numbers, so it is showing only 2 numbers, 2 and 5. So let's delete all. Yeah, I have deleted the last 2 numbers also. Now let's again give DQ. Let's see what it will print. See, it has given us underflow exception, saying that queue is empty. So we have another exception which is non-integer exception. So it can be activated when we are giving integer which is not which when we are giving input which is not an integer. So for that, let's run the program again, and let me give something which is non-integer. Let's say only two integers for now, two elements for now, and nq 5, and again let me give a, and it has given non-integer exception. So this is how we can create a queue using different kind of exceptions inside it, so as to handle the particular errors from the user side. So hope you understood these two programs well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.